Listen to this and please understand what I'm saying. Nobody cares. No matter how big your dream is, how much you desire it, how much you imagine it in your mind. The reality is tough, and the truth, even though it hurts, is that nobody cares. Life goes on, the world keeps spinning, and no one is going to stop to wait for you. No one is going to stop to give you time to catch up. No one is going to take your hand and push you. It's your responsibility. It's your fight, your battle, your war. Don't look for excuses. Don't look for someone to blame. The only person to blame for not achieving what you want is you. You can't keep waiting for the circumstances to change for you. Do you know what happens when you wait for things to change? Nothing changes. The world doesn't stop. The universe doesn't pause for you to be ready. What you need to do is start working now. Not tomorrow. Not when everything is in order. Not when the fear is gone. Not when the stars align. Now. Yes, I know you've heard this story before. We all talk about big dreams. We all talk about what we want to achieve. But how many of us are really willing to do what it takes to get there? How many of us are willing to sacrifice, to sweat, to fail, and get back up again without giving up? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what you do. If you're not getting what you want, if you haven't achieved your goals, if you're still in the same place you started, then the blame is yours. Don't get me wrong. I know the road isn't easy. I know there are moments when you feel like you can't keep going. When it feels like you've exhausted every ounce of energy and there's nothing left to give. I know you've had days when it seems like every step you take is a struggle, and you start to question if it's all worth it. I know the frustration creeps in, and you begin to wonder if you've made the right choices, if the effort you're putting in is even going to pay off. It's easy to feel defeated in those moments, but listen closely. Nobody promised that this journey would be easy. Nobody promised you that the path would be smooth, that there wouldn't be times when you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. No one guaranteed that it would be a walk in the park. What was promised to you, however, is this. If you stay strong, if you keep pushing forward, if you don't give up, if you continue even when everything in you is telling you to stop, then you will eventually reach your goal. You will see the fruits of your labor, and you will prove to yourself that you were right to keep going. But here's the harsh truth. You won't get there by waiting. You won't get there by sitting back and hoping for something to happen. You won't get there by simply dreaming of the life you want. You will only get there by working harder than you ever have before. Now let's talk about excuses. Because the reality is, excuses are the main reason you're not where you want to be. And let me tell you, excuses won't get you anywhere. They never have, and they never will. You've been making excuses for too long. You've been telling yourself that you don't have enough time, that you don't have the resources, that life hasn't given you the opportunities you deserve. But let me break it to you. The world doesn't owe you anything. The world owes you nothing. It doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you a chance, a break, or a perfect situation to make your dreams come true. The only person who owes you success is you. You are the only one who is responsible for your future, for your growth, and for the life you want to create. And if you haven't gotten where you wanted to go, if you haven't achieved what you set out to achieve, then you have to face the truth. The blame is on you, nobody else. Because if you truly wanted something, if it really mattered to you, you would have made it happen. You wouldn't be waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions, or the stars to align. You would have taken action. And if you're not where you want to be right now, it's because you've been unwilling to take that action. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to stop telling yourself that you'll get to it when you're ready, when the conditions are perfect, when everything falls into place. Successful people don't wait for the perfect moment. Successful people don't wait for everything to align before they take action. They simply start. They understand that perfection doesn't exist, and they don't expect everything to be perfect before they begin. They know that opportunity doesn't always show up when it's convenient, and that sometimes you have to create your own opportunities. Successful people act now, and that's what you need to do. What you do today is what will determine your tomorrow. It's not what you do when you feel comfortable, when everything feels easy, or when you're not scared. What matters is what you do now, in the moments when it feels hard, when you feel uncertain, when fear tries to hold you back. The actions you take today are the foundation of your future, and it's time to stop waiting for some magical moment and start taking responsibility for your success, for your life, and for your excuses. Stop telling yourself that you don't have enough time or that the conditions aren't right. Start now, no matter what, because the reality is, you'll never feel completely ready. You'll never feel like everything is perfectly aligned. But you can still make progress and you can still achieve your dreams if you take consistent action. The time to start is right now. The question is, are you going to take it? And you know what else? Successful people don't complain. They don't complain about the government, the economy, the system, the circumstances. They complain as little as possible because they realize that the only place they can control things is within themselves. They don't complain, they act. They don't complain, they get up every time they fall. They don't complain because they understand that difficulties are an essential part of the process. And what they have, what you dream of having, is nothing more than the result of having worked harder than you, of not stopping when you gave up. Now let me be clear, what's holding you back is not the world. What's holding you back is you. What's holding you back is your lack of action, your lack of consistency, your lack of discipline. You've been deceiving yourself. You've been telling yourself it's not the right time, that you need more time, that eventually things will get better on their own. But they won't. Nothing will get better if you don't do something about it. Do you know why you still don't have what you want? Because you haven't worked hard enough. Because you haven't pushed yourself enough. Because you've let comfort, fear, and doubt win. Because instead of moving forward, you chose to stay waiting for things to fix themselves. But the universe doesn't have time to wait for the indecisive. The universe rewards the brave, the ones who rise and give their all, even when everything seems to be against them. You don't have time to keep crying. You don't have time to keep blaming others. You need to start working, and you need to do it now. And the worst part is that deep down you know you can do it. You know there's more inside of you waiting to come out, ready to conquer whatever stands in your way. You know you have that power, that drive, that unique ability to push beyond the limits. But right now you're holding yourself back. You're letting your own doubts, your own fears, and your own comfort zone sabotage your progress. You're choosing to stay in the same place, even though you know you have the potential to do so much more. You're settling for mediocrity when greatness is within your reach. You're letting laziness take control, letting distractions take the best of you. And yes, now you feel frustrated, lost, and defeated, but the truth is, the blame is yours. No one else is responsible for where you are right now. Not your circumstances, not your past, not the people around you. You're the one holding yourself back. You're the one who chooses to take the easy way out. And no, I don't want to hear any more excuses. Because the truth is, excuses are just a way to hide from the truth. The truth is, if you don't have what you want, it's because you're not willing to do what's necessary to get it. If you don't have the success you've been dreaming of, it's because you've chosen not to fight for it. You've chosen to sit back, to wait for things to fall into place on their own, instead of rolling up your sleeves and doing the hard work. You've chosen not to push yourself, to give up the moment things get tough. Because the truth is, when you really want something, when you truly, deeply desire it with every fiber of your being, you don't care how much it costs. You don't care how many sleepless nights it takes. You don't care how many times you fail, because failure is just a lesson to learn from. You don't care about the sacrifices, because you know that success requires sacrifice. You're willing to give up whatever it takes to make your dreams a reality. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving forward. Even when the world tells you to stop, you keep going. Even when everything inside you says quit, you keep fighting. You don't give up. You don't lose faith. You keep grinding. Because hard work, discipline, and consistency, they are the only paths that will take you where you want to go. And if you're not doing it, if you're not working day in and day out to achieve your goals, then it's because it doesn't matter enough to you. You're not hungry enough. You're not willing to push yourself through the discomfort to achieve your greatness. Because if it really mattered, you wouldn't be waiting for things to change on their own. You wouldn't be waiting for the perfect moment. You wouldn't be waiting for the stars to align. You'd be taking action. You'd be moving toward your goals every single day, even when it's hard. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to keep complaining about how life is unfair? Are you going to keep saying that you can't? Are you going to keep blaming everyone and everything for your lack of success? Or are you finally going to stand up and start doing what needs to be done to get what you deserve? Because if you keep waiting, you'll be in the exact same spot a year from now. You'll be no closer to your dreams. zone, or are you going to step up, face your fears, and work harder than ever before? The time is now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the action you're willing to take. So take it.